Hello, my name is Andy and I am the Village Idiot. I'm armed with a car and a GoPro and an unhealthy amount of time on my hands. I'm using that time to attempt to visit every civil parish in England. You're watching the Amber Valley series. There are 35 parishes in this beautiful slice of eastern Derbyshire. Here's one for your viewing pleasure. Welcome back to Amber Valley once again, people, where the rain is still profusely falling from the sky. Good job then that most of this one will be done in the car because I won't have to walk around in it very much. We're into the very sparsely populated western area of Amber Valley now. I'm standing in a settlement that's called Cowers Lane. This is part of the parish of Shottle and Postern. Here's my disclaimer for people who may be watching me for the first time. I say things as I would in my native accent and dialect. As a result, I may not pronounce things in the same way as the locals do. Remember, I'm a visitor. It's impossible to know everything. Leave me a comment, spin me a like and bash that subscribe button. Let's get to today's parish video. Alright, this week in Amber Valley we're tackling Shottle and Postern, one of the most sparsely populated areas in Derbyshire. Its name is quite deceiving. You'd have thought there'd be two settlements in this one, namely Shottle and Postern. However, this is Derbyshire. Since when did things like that ever make sense? Shottle is a small hamlet with a church, but look for Postern on the map and you won't find it. Postern refers to the area in the parish's southern reaches, and it's named for Postern Hill, which in turn is named after an old farmhouse. It means house made with posts, apparently. Even though there's no Postern village, there is still a second settlement, Cowers Lane, which is in fact the biggest built-up area in Shottle and Postern parish. It has a certain railway theme to it, because it contains a pub called the Railway Inn, and it's the site of a station on the Ecclesbourne Valley Railway. Other than those, landmarks out here are few apart from the Church of St Lawrence at Shottle and the 19th century model farm at Shottle Hall. This is an overwhelmingly rural area with scattered clusters of population, but nothing you would term an actual village. The Chatsworth estate own the vast majority of the land and several tenanted dairy farms here. So a lot of this one will be done by driving around as opposed to walking. But then again, that's not a bad thing given this awful weather. Let's get cracking, folks. We start in Cowers Lane on the same road that we finished on last week, the A517, the main road between Belper and Ashbourne. This is the only place in the parish where you can get a bus. The 6.1 serves Cowers Lane and connects it to Derby and Bakewell. Based around a crossroads, Cowers Lane is residential mainly, but it does have a few businesses like a garage. On the crossroads is the Railway Inn. It's a Marston's pub which caters mainly for diners, but casual drinkers are also welcomed. Its name is a reference to the Ecclesbourne Valley Railway, which is literally just a couple of 100 yards away. Speaking of names, Cowers Lane is a late 19th century corruption of Cowhouse Lane. Originally this area was called Cowhouse Gate. It stood at the entrance to Postern Park, one of 7 in the locality used for royal hunting. All of them were once part of Duffield Frith. Now as you continue towards Ashbourne, you'll go over a railway bridge, and there is a railway station here. However, it's not a mainline station, it's on the Ecclesbourne Valley Railway, which we last mentioned in Duffield. It's Shottle Station, and it's right there. As we learned in Duffield, the Ecclesbourne Valley line was created by local coal miners to transport coal to the Manchester textile mills. Cowers Lane had a station on the line and still does today. These days it's known as Shottle, but it wasn't originally. It opened in 1867 and was named Cowers Lane, but this was changed after a request by the owners of the nearby Shottle Hall. As well as the station, Cowers Lane also needed a viaduct so that the local Chatsworth estate farmers could still access their land. That's now been demolished, but the station is still here. This once handled up to 12,000 passengers a year during its 1920s peak. Services ended in 1947, but Shottle Station has seen regular weekend trains since 2014 after the line reopened. Now, as far as a main walk goes, that's it. That's it. Everything else in this one will have to be done in the car because it is so sparsely populated and everything is spread out everywhere. The next thing to head for is the church, and that is actually in Shottle Village. Let's go and find that. On the way up to the church, you pass Shottle Hall. This was built in 1861 and was established as a model farm for John Bell Crompton. He was a big name in banking, so much so that his bank went on to become a component of what we now know as NatWest. The farm includes a gentry-style main house with an additional residence at the back, possibly to allow a farm manager to be on site. It has a number of farm buildings around a courtyard. Since 2005, this has been used as a wedding and events venue, which is why I had no hang-ups about driving into it. I've linked the Shottle Hall estate website below. It's well worth having a read if you're looking at getting hitched soon. Now we're off towards Shottle Village along White Lane. From here on in, the roads in this part of Derbyshire become very narrow, windy country lanes, almost like farm tracks. We're deep in the heart of Chatsworth-owned farmland now. It's rural almost as far as the eye can see. Okay, so we've arrived in Shottle and we have arrived at the Church of St Lawrence. Very tiny building. Let's talk a bit about this, and then to finish we'll drive through Shottle Village towards the next one. The Chatsworth estate are also responsible for the existence of this church. This is St Lawrence, built right on the edge of Shottle Village. Built in 1861, originally a Shottle Mission Church, it was rededicated as St Lawrence's in 1961 in honour of the then vicar's father. To the locals, this is known as the church that wouldn't die. By the 1970s, its congregation had just 2 members. It could so easily have closed, but it was thanks to the determination of just one parishioner which kept it going, Mary Fletcher. These days it sees a congregation of up to 70. Shottle has had other religious groups too. The Wesleyans were here by 1816, as were the Baptists in 1882. To finish, we're taking a drive through Shottle Village, north towards the next one. Shottle is not much more than just a handful of houses and farm buildings. Notable features here include a moated site known as the Motts. Its exact use is unknown, but as the wider area was parkland, it's likely it was the site of a hunting lodge or some other deer-related enclosure. This village also holds an annual rock festival called Southern Uprising, and scenes from the 1974 horror movie Let Sleeping Corpses Lie were also filmed in Shottle. Hopefully this one hasn't been a horror movie. I'll see you next time in Amber Valley. Thanks for watching this video, folks. Don't forget to like this episode if you haven't already. It really makes a difference with YouTube. If you're new here, subscribe to the channel for more videos like this, and give us a share too if you've got friends who'd like it. You can find all the links to my social media accounts below, as well as my Buy Me a Coffee page where you can donate to the channel. Also, if you've enjoyed this episode, have a look at some more videos in this series. Until next time, I've been Andy, also known as the Village Idiot, and I'm out.